back to Mercury, or to Mercury. I don't even remember anymore. So, I just finished, like, literally 45 minutes ago, the main campaign for Destiny 2, the expansion that I already forgot the name of. Osiris something or other, probably. Let's take a look. Who cares? The new expansion for Destiny 2 that I've literally forgotten the name of. So this is the new... I hesitate to use the word area of the game because this is mostly just a hub world that connects you into a bunch of stupid bullshit. I'm going to be very critical of the story here. Now, I haven't done the endgame content, so those of you who get all butthurt because I haven't done the raid and the new strikes and blah 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 blah. This is purely, I don't even know what this is, the collection thing for the new hub guy. I have finished the main plot line with the cinematics and all the crap, the single player element of the new expansion. Now, it took about 2.5 hours, and that was while streaming and with multiple trips back to the hub world to turn in engrams and things like that. So, it's about 2 hours worth of content. It's also 2 hours worth of crappy content. I have very few positive things to say about this particular expansion. It's very short. I will spoil the first 3 minutes of the cinematic and some opening here just to establish what I'm talking about. So if you don't want to hear any plot whatsoever, cover your damn ears, or skip, a couple minutes ahead. But basically, the opening plot to this, if you haven't seen the cinematic yet or watched any of the videos, is that Osiris, the original OG mega badass warlock, has found something super evil the Vex are doing, and it's gonna kill everybody. He throws his little ghost at a portal and sends it somewhere, I don't even remember. Throws it through a portal to quote-unquote save it, because it can't die with him, and it's the key to everything, and it's gotta save everybody. So basically, Osiris in the opening scenes is established as somebody who shouldn't be able to be stopped by Vex, honestly. The dude can stop time, he's got portals that lead to infinite branches in time, and can see the future. And it makes no sense that he gets caught the way he does at all. So basically, your people, Ikora finds his ghost, and you need to revive it to go save him, because he's a badass, and we need to know what is going to end the world. Okay, so you proceed to start doing that mission to save Osiris and stop the evil Vex plan. Well, okay. This is where this takes a shit. So you start here, basically, and you walk down this tower, and you walk over there to that tower, around this little circle. And then while you're doing that, you're going, hey, this is a cool new area. It's like Egyptian themed, obviously, from the Osiris name, and you kind of got old school Egypt themes here. And you get to a door over there and go, well, fuck, the door's locked, I can't continue. So let's turn around and walk back through this area. Okay. So, using an asset twice by backtracking in the first 5 minutes of the campaign did not start well. So then you proceed to do that for 2 hours. The areas in this campaign are garbage. You head back to areas that are reused on Earth. You head back to a reused area on Nessus that you've used for other shit. There is an entire mission that goes through the Pyramidion, the strike that's in the Vex Pyramid, and it literally takes place where you were fighting the boss previously in that strike. It overlaps the same area. You fall down the same hole to access the final bit of that mission that you fight the boss in. There's no changes. It's literally the same. As a matter of fact, to unlock the thing you're there for, you stand on the same exact circles you used to unlock the boss's shield. There are so many reused assets in this campaign bit, it's insane. Not only that, not a single new enemy. You can consider the main boss to this plotline a new enemy type if you'd like. You don't actually even fight it. It's got what amounts to QTE fights. you fight, it summons a bunch of ads, and then you run at it, and then you shoot a middle circle bit. So, like, there's not actual prompts, but you basically, the Osiris goes, jump in this hole, and pick up this arc thing, and throw it in this hole, and then the thing blows up. You don't actually fight the boss at any point in combat. You just fight ads while he looks around. You spend most of the expansion in the, I don't even remember what that's fucking called, the Forest of the Infinite or some crap. Basically, the Vex have a machine that simulates all the infinite timelines and possibilities in the trillions. And that's their number. They literally say there are trillions of possibilities in here. It's a machine that calculates infinite probability. So you go into this machine, and the reasoning seems to be you're fighting simulations that the Vex are running in the machine. Okay. It repeats 5 times. You make 5 or 6 trips through that machine, and it's just copy-pasted Vex islands you jump back and forth to. And I'm not talking, like, different versions that are reskinned. I'm talking identical fucking Vex islands that you jump around on that have the same Vex architecture you're seeing on these, with some minor platforming that goes nowhere. There are no new enemy designs. There are no new environments. At one point, the machine takes you into a room that's basically the primordial version of the machine, so like the planet they fucked up, which is nice looking. It's got big purple trees and some African savanna grass. It looks fine. And then they use that scene for exposition. You walk forward, Osiris talks, you leave. You do eventually go back there later for a mission, and the place is covered in the same shitty-looking Vex structures. You don't do anything with the new environment. You immediately stop seeing the actual, like, fauna and flora. There's no, like, you're immediately on Vex buildings, so then the cool-looking Earth environment with the actual plants just stops mattering immediately. And then you leave that, and you go back to another crappy-looking Vex area. Oh, I just leveled up. It's garbage. You backtrack through a bunch of them. They all look the same. None of the enemies are new. They reskin some Vex, which they're not even on this section. There's an excuse at one point that the timelines are all combining. So you start seeing funky-looking Vex they're basically Egyptian-themed Vex. They're fucking bronze and gold-plated. They've got different head plates on the standard Vex. The harpies are rounded instead of spiky. It's very new. They do nothing different, actual effect-wise. So it's literally a reskin. It's awful. It's completely useless. The story is absolute crap. Stuff makes no sense. At one point, they literally go, we're going to run into Vex security here, because they know they're in danger if we get in here. So there's going to be a ton of Vex security. And you proceed to walk in the room, and it's full of Fallen. And then the next room is full of Taken. And the next room is full of Cabal. And it's like, why is this room full of other species? They never mention an alliance or anything of that nature. And I think the excuse is that you're in the simulation. So the Vex are using other things in the simulation to try and stop you. Well, that's fine. They use that excuse later because the fucking main boss summons everything from every species, and they go, oh, he's using the simulations to summon other races and attack you. Oh, okay. But before you're in the simulations, you're in these sections to go to the simulations, and those are full of Fallen. So why are there Fallen in there hanging out for no reason? It makes no sense at all that you're in a Vex machine that should be guarded, and there's Fallen chilling in the non-simulation portions ready to fight you. It's completely just not explained and makes no sense whatsoever. Again, it literally turns into like a point where you walk in a room and there's been no mention of them at all, and it's like, oh, there's Taken. We haven't seen Taken so far at all. No one's gonna mention why there's Taken. Your ghost doesn't even say anything like, oh, they pulled Taken into the simulation. They're just there. And there's not even that many of them. You run into like 4 in the middle of a room for no reason. Super disappointed with this expansion. Like, I'm legitimately upset. I might come back to this after the raid and things like that to see if there's anything worth it. But from a single player standpoint, this was absolute garbage. Like I said, it was 2 hours, And again, mild spoilers here, but there's a portion in the middle of this campaign where you're told to go get a map. Alright, let's go get the map. So you get to the map, and your ghost goes, dude, I can't read this map. This map's crazy. I don't speak ancient Egyptian Vex. This ain't gonna work. We need to go steal a Vex brain so we can read this map. And if any of you recall, that's exactly a plot to a story portion of Destiny 1. We have to go steal a Vex brain, but we'll leave that alone. So you go steal the Vex brain, which is an entire mission unto itself, which took a decent chunk of that 2 hours. You take the Vex brain to a machine, because you of course can't read Vex brains on your own. You need Vex machinery to read Vex brains. So you take it to the machine and you plug in the brain. Well, that took another half hour. Well, the brain immediately short circuits. You fry the brain, and your ghost goes, well, crap, I can't do anything. We fried the brain. I can't read the map. So you're standing now in the middle of nowhere, and the whole plan you've been working on for an hour is out the window because you can't read the brain. And Ikora hits you up on the radio and goes, well, screw that, I've got another idea. Just forget about that. There's no conclusion to it. The brain doesn't matter. That entire hour-long mission is garbage in those 2 parts. The brain literally dies. You go, fuck it. Ikora goes, we can do this instead. And instead of finding the map and figuring out where you needed to go, you literally just go, we'll find where he's gonna be. And you just leave, and that whole plot didn't matter. You just throw it in the garbage. And then you come back, and the whole beginning plot, because again, there's no weight to any of this. At the beginning of the damn plot, where you go over to that door over there I was telling you about, Ikora just goes, well, we don't have the key anymore, so I'm just going to rip it open with my brain. So the first hour is entirely pointless. You could have just ripped the door down the whole time, and you don't need the map, and you don't need the key, and nothing you've done for the last 2 hours is needed. So here's Ikora, doors open, fuck the map, go kill it. And that's it. That's how it ends. One of the worst bits of plot I've seen in this. It was absolute garbage. I'm sorry I spent the money. Hopefully the raid is fun so I can play that with my friends, but so far this has been absolute garbage. This was a terrible plot. They added 0 content with this campaign. As you saw me just level up to 24, doing the entirety of the campaign got me 3 of the 5 new levels out of 25. And then almost to 24, because I've done no other side content or anything since then. So that's all there is to this. If you are playing this single player, don't spend your money. This was complete garbage. You want a rating out of 10 with like 5 being average, 10 being game of the year? I would say this was a 3. This was no content at all. It's got a couple neat cinematics, is one of the only positives I can give it. There's not a ton of shitty platforming, so I can't detract from that. There is platforming, but it's done halfway decently, and anyone knows me knows I hate platforming. But it's just reskinned enemies and some pyramids. I mean, that's about it. It's like regular vanilla Destiny, and Assassin's Creed had a bastard child, and then they sold it to us for $35. So yeah, 3 is the best I can give it from a single player standpoint. There'll probably be another video at some point with raid content and some of the multiplayer stuff, which hopefully it makes this worth it, because this was not worth buying the expansion fast for by itself at all. Terrible, terrible campaign continuation. Just absolutely awful.